Oh yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Comics and Crypto, your source for everything collectible. What's up, Spencer? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Sean? Doing very well. How are you?
Good, man. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yep, still doing a little bit of carving from last night, but feeling good and excited to be here.
you look amazing. I can't tell.
I look better on the outside than I feel on the inside.
Well, I'm really excited about today's episode. We're going to go over some awesome sales that have happened in the collectibles space. We're going to talk a lot about collectibles, including, it's really actually interesting, an acquisition by Golden Auctions recently. And we're going to break down some really cool collectibles that they're going to be selling at their auctions soon. But first and foremost, we have a really exciting announcement. Today, we have the new Chief of Collectors Experience, Aaron Knowles. Aaron Knowles, a bit of changing of the guard on Fannable. A big shout to Sergio. I want to just real quick before we bring Aaron on to do an interview with him and introduce him to the community. We want to make sure we give a shout out to Sergio. And thanks for everything you've done, man. You were fantastic with Fanable. You really helped build a company, grow. That's we're really excited about, and a lot of people are excited about. So thank you for everything you've done. And yeah, we're excited to still continue working with you in any capacity, man. But yeah, first and foremost, really excited to bring on Aaron Knowles. Yo, what's up, Aaron?
What's going on?
Yeah, good to see you, man.
It's good to see you guys. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you letting me come on the show.
Well, we're happy to have you on. Yeah, it was fun talking in the backstage, and man, your energy is fantastic.
You know, I truly believe that if you're not putting positive vibes out into the world, then you're just what are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, but you're a guy. I'm the same, man.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Also, after almost dying twice overseas, you can't help but have a positive outlook.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, we like to start off with a collecting question. We like to ask, are you a collector? And if you are, what do you like to collect, Aaron?
Well, the honest answer is if the people are watching, if they're not just listening, if they're watching, they can see that my room is a complete mess right now, my office, because I wanted to show you guys some of my prized slabs. So I collect, man, if I would say comics, it's mostly like She-Hulk and Transformers, but
Nice.
Also I have a very niche, and I think you guys will love this. I have a very niche collection of movie adaptation comics.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
So let me just grab one real quick. So
yeah.
So here's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, no number. So it's the comic adaptation. I should probably take it out of the bag. Signed by Kevin Eastman, and it's a 9.4.
Oh, cool.
Look at that.
That's awesome. Is it for the new movie?
That was the original.
Oh, the original. Wow.
Yeah, the original. Also, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie. It's Robert Townsend. It's back, I want to say 1993. Meteor Man.
Oh my gosh, I do remember Meteor Man. Oh my gosh, what a blast from the past. That is wild.
So funny thing about that one is that was so they did that book, and then they actually had I want to say it was 6 or 7 issues of the actual, like, a Marvel comic that was the Meteor Man, but they did this one and it came in a special pack. I actually have a sealed version of this that came with pins and actual like newspaper from the movie. It's awesome. And then other things I have, like I'll show you this. It's the ash can for Absolute Batman.
Very cool.
And this one's signed by Nick Dragata and Scott Snyder.
That's awesome.
I'm not gonna let little humble brag. They're good friends of mine. And then Starship Troopers #1, which is the movie adaptation, signed by Dina Meyer, who played Diz, Casper Van Dien, who's obviously Johnny Rico, Jake Busey, and then Michael Ironside.
That's awesome. Yeah, I heard they're remaking that film. I think
they are. And I want to say it's Neil Blomkamp is going to be heading up that project. Who is
so excited for that?
So excited.
It was an amazing movie. Love.
And then little known fact. Did you know that John Bernthal is an artist?
No.
Yes. So here is a 9.8. This is a self-portrait by John Bernthal of a sketch he did of himself on it's a Portuguese cover of What If the Punisher.
Oh my god. Did he sign that too? Is that
yeah. So he signed it up here, and then that's his sketch. Which
dude, he's good, man.
Yeah. So
let's take a beat real quick. How did you get that? I mean, first off, didn't even know he's an artist. Second of all, how did you acquire something?
I'm gonna be honest. This was just like a random eBay purchase. I was like looking at Punisher, like, because I'm a huge Punisher fan. I used to cosplay him back in the day, and so John Bernthal, when he was the Punisher on the Daredevil show on Netflix, I was like, this is phenomenal. I love him in this role, and I feel like he can do no wrong. I mean, he's much like Jim Carrey or some of these other characters. They're always themselves. He's always John Bernthal. But he's so fitting as the Punisher that you can't get much better. Now, I could probably take up your entire time of the show, but I don't want to because I have a whole stack here of just stuff. Maybe I'll bring one out every once in a while, but I don't want to dominate too much of your time because I know we want to talk about Fannable, of course.
You're good. Yeah. But also, real quick, I'm curious, have you gotten into any other collecting categories? I think I see like a Funko behind you back there, but anything outside of comics?
So some commissioned art by some of the the artists that I really like. Nerf Alice is one of my favorites. She does very like graffiti, like very kinetic. Daniel Warren Johnson, I have a couple of pieces by him. I'm trying to think what else I actually. It might be just mostly comics. Oh, I'm sorry. Duh. Hot Wheels. And specifically Batmobiles. I have probably 2 to 3, like probably 250 to 300 Hot Wheels Batmobiles that are still in their little blister packs.
Cool.
So yeah, one day when I get, because I just moved to Brooklyn, I retired from the military last year, moved to Brooklyn, New York, and we're looking for a house. So when I finally get that final house, that final home, I can display all of my Hot Wheel Batmobiles.
Nice.
That's amazing. Yeah, so throw this on your radar. Funko and Wax, they actually released some of the first NFTs for Funko.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is actually a great introduction to the digital space. So actually, like the first
I like it digital. I love that.
Yeah, the first collectibles they released actually were Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle NFTs. And if you picked up a certain variant, like specifically the Grail or Legendary, then you can get a free Funko Pop, which are limited to only $999 for the Grail.
Nice.
And this is what it looked like.
Oh, cool.
It's on there, 999 editions. So the reason why I bring that up was because Funko or Wax actually worked with Hot Wheels, and they released a really rare variant as well, which actually you still have it, Spencer? Yeah.
Yeah, on the top right of my screen, you see the Hot Wheels up there. It's still in the box, but yeah, they did the same concept where they released kind of like a trading card series. But yeah, if you landed the certain Grail or whatever on the trading card series, and it was basically redeemable for a free physical. So
nice.
Those like original physical Hot Wheels also go for I think like close to like 700, 800, maybe even higher. So yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, because I that Hot Wheels exclusive that you have there, this is kind of a thing that bothered me a little bit. So last year, I want to say it was San Diego Comic-Con, Hot Wheels it was supposed to have been exclusive to the show. It was like a sleeve of Batmobiles in this 85th or whatever the anniversary. I want to say 85th anniversary. And then it ended up going live online as well. So they started, so it no longer became a Comic-Con exclusive. Does stuff like that happen that you've noticed, and does it irritate you? And I know I'm not the one who's asking the questions, but I want you guys, if you can answer that for me.
I mean, that's super irritating, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like, at least like in the NFT space, like everything is transparent, just inherently because of the technology. So like, I feel like stuff like that doesn't happen as much within the NFT space. Like usually if they say something's like an exclusive, or it's only gonna have 999 editions, like that's it, and it's actually provable on the blockchain. So
that's one thing I love about especially if we talk about these like drops from Fannable. So yesterday we released the 9.8s and beyond drop, and it was really cool because Sergio explained it to me, and it seems like a no-brainer now that once he explained it to me, was like the number one, the first box, because they're numbered boxes or numbered cases. So if you get like the number one case and you decide that you want to sell it, there's a premium there. And then also if you get number 98, because it's 9.8s and beyond, like there's a premium there also. So it's like I always am learning something new about how collectors think.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun to hear what excites people.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're excited to talk to you more about the excitement the community has about mint numbers specifically for digital collectibles, because that's how you differentiate value.
Mm-hmm.
Because these collectibles don't degrade over time. But yeah,
Yes.
to add your point about Hot Wheels, yeah, I mean, again, it comes down to transparency, and I would hope at least those collectibles didn't have like a Comic-Con exclusive stamp on them, because if they're sold online, they weren't a Comic-Con exclusive.
Exactly. I think mine's actually still in the box. I was like, I didn't even bother taking it out of the box. I was like, I'm not going to do this until I get to my house, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, Aaron, man, you're incredibly knowledgeable in the collectible space, and your energy is fantastic. I guess maybe for our audience, I'm very curious about your professional background in the collectibles industry.
Yeah, so my background in the collectible space professionally is not really, I would say, other than having a podcast that we talk about comics and nerdy stuff. That's really the only professional experience I have, other than kind of, you know, the gig economy. So I've worked with a couple of companies like CSA Comic Sketch Art, where I went to the conventions, New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, a few others, and basically helped out the artists and helped out, you know, with selling, you know, graded books and having people get stuff signed. And, you know, it was just that kind of experience. So working, you know, there's that experience that you get when you go to a convention and you walk up to a celebrity and you're like, oh man, I can't wait to get this signed, you know. And then there's the people that are in the behind the table that are like, okay, I'm going to take this from this person, hand it to the artist, get it signed, hand it back. It is completely a different experience on either side of the table. It's so wild how, because you wouldn't think that there's a difference, but like when you're handling somebody's like most prized possession and then handing it to an artist, like you are like shaking, you know, you're terrified to mess it up, because as a collector, I know that if anything were to happen while it's in somebody else's hands, you know, like how do you, you know, you don't want to cause a situation because you don't want to upset the artist, you don't want to upset the business that you're working with.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's your item, and it's like now it's lost value because there's a ding or something. So it's like, it's crazy, you know.
So funny you say that, because we've had basically the opposite experience with some of the people doing that exact job. Like, where like they have zero regard for the value of your
Really?
collectible, and they just grab it and they push it along. They like might like put their like smudge like other signatures. They might like, I think it was like Orlando Bloom, I think, like somebody like
Yeah.
really mishandled, you know, a Lord of the Rings tape that was signed by, I think, all the Hobbits and Andy Serkis, and
Oh man.
like it was, yeah, but zero regard for the condition and value of it. Just like, yeah,
Like at the top, and what are you doing?
Yeah. So I that's sad, because I've honestly never had that experience, and I would never want somebody that I was, you know, helping out,
yeah,
because that's what I consider when I'm doing something like that. I'm helping you out. I'm helping you achieve a goal. I'm helping you achieve a dream, whether it's interacting with this creator, with this celebrity, with this artist. Like that is, I am but a vessel. You know, if I were to like make it sound cool, I am but a vessel to help you get to what you want. I would say like one thing, so Frank Miller, you know, if you've ever gotten anything signed by Frank Miller is a legend in the collectible, in the creation, you know, in just about every, whether it's movies, whether it's comics, whatever. He is an amazing creator, but he is so protected, and so is his like his IP, like his signature, everything. So if you ever take anything to his table, he literally has an army of people around him to help, like, take it out of the bag, to hand it over, to have him sign it, to put it next to the table, and then not put it in the bag until it's dried. Like I've seen, and again, I'll tell you one of my most favorite experiences, because I know both sides of the table now, as I call it, was I stood in line to get do you know the Ghost Machine? They're a new publishing house.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, so Ghost Machine, last year at New York Comic Con, they had every creator of Ghost Machine at a table. So you literally walk down this gauntlet of a table, and they just like sign. And because a lot of them do work with CSA, you know, I can approach them and shoot the shit and talk with them. Am I allowed to cuss? I'm sorry.
you're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, you know, just like talk with them and get to know them. And so there was a guy in who was in line behind me, and he had come, I think he was Polish, and he brought a couple of books, and two of them got smudged. Like some of the signatures got smudged, and he was like so humble and so nice about it. He's like, no, I'm not going to bother them. I'm like, oh man, like honestly, just give it to me. And so I walked back into the line. I'm like, hey man, like this one got smudged. This guy's a huge fan. Can you guys just like, you know, like clean it off and like do it? And they cleaned it off. They took the time to clean it off, and protect the item, and then sign it again. And the guy was like, thank you so much. And it's like, that's what we should be doing for each other. And that to me is what this community, that whether it's the Phygital or whether it's the NFT, whether it's the VV community, that's the experience that I've had so far. Is I've not seen any, like, maybe I'm just blind to it, but I've not seen a lot of like any really negativity or anybody like putting somebody else down for if they won something, if they've got a specific collectible that they really wanted, etc. Like, it just seems like it's such a supportive community.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. It's really nice, especially, I will say, especially during the bear market, when things, it really shows the people that are really passionate about this stuff have stayed.
Yes, and they're appreciative.
They're very appreciative. Yeah.
Yeah.
And back in like 2021, you definitely had a bit more toxicity.
Yeah.
But that's always like that with any community, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be cyclical.
It's been fun to see people who've stayed that are really passionate about this stuff.
Yeah. And that's why I was so lucky when I got to, when I heard about this position. And then again, I got paired up with Sergio to train under him to get prepared for this role. He is, if I can, I don't know, it's hard to put into words, like his energy. It's like I could tell that he did not want to leave the position that I took over, because he just honestly was like, he's talking about everybody that he works with. He's talking about you. He's talking about, the guys that run our Discord. He's talking about everybody. And like he told me about like the people that are like the whales in the community. I'm like, this guy knows everybody. And he's like not talking to them like their assets. He's talking to them about them like their friends, like their people, like they're part of this community. And I'm like, this is who I want to like work up to be and to emulate and then to continue with.
I love that. Yeah. And it's cool too, especially with Fannable, they're building their own community, but they're also a bit and piece from other communities as well.
Yes.
So you get an idea, you get an introduction to other communities and other collection experiences.
For sure.
Exciting journey for you. I'm really pumped for you, Aaron.
Yeah. No, it seemed like, again, this is like a no-brainer when it comes to an idea of creating a community and then cultivating it, because I mean, just simply out of the benefits of like sending, like, again, I'm actually, one of the reasons I pulled out a lot of my graded books is I'm getting ready to send them into, to Brinks.
Yep.
And so I'm like, this is like, I can, you're telling me that I can for free send my items to a vault, an insured process, an insured vault, and then if I decide to sell it, it's already there. It's a digital NFT, and then I can sell it if I decide to sell it, and then still make like money off of it. Like, in what world does that like happen? Like, it seems so simple, but like it just was kind of like a foreign concept. But I'm so behind it because now I can still like literally look at my items. They're there. They're mine. They're just safely in a vault, and I don't have to worry about them. If something happens to my apartment, they're safe. If something, and this is like, why would you not want to protect your investment?
100% agree. And we've seen, I mean, being in California, the fires.
Oh God, yeah.
In California, it was awful. And there's some people specifically that have lost. One guy, Jeremy Padower, amazing guy, he lost millions of dollars worth of collectibles.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he was insured, and he's been very open about it. He's been talking about it. He's been saying, it's the importance and necessity of insurance.
Absolutely,
and he showed, like, for example, in his house, he went back to the debris and he showed a vault that was supposedly supposed to be fireproof, torched. Everything inside of it was torched. So even though you try to do everything in your power to try to make sure that your items are safe, they're not insured and they're not fully safe. So that's why I'm so excited about Fanable, which actually was my next question. Why are you so excited about working with Fanable?
I mean, it's a mixture, man. But like, again, talking about the fires real quick is I can't tell you how many comic artists I know that lived in that lived in that area. And I mean, so one thing I love about when I, like looking at your guys' backgrounds, imagine like these guys who have been in the industry for years, who have been creating comics, and the amount of stuff that they have that's graded or raw. And when they lost it, like, I mean, I want to bring this to the creators as well. I want them to have a stake in it. I want them to see like, oh, this is something that can protect my items so that this doesn't happen again to other creators like who live in California. Like, it just seems, again, like a no-brainer. But why am I excited about this role? Why am I excited about being able to bring something that is a great idea to multiple communities? I think it's self-explanatory. Like, I want to, I'm a people person. You know, what job? There's so many jobs where you can like just talk to people, but how many people get a job that they get to talk to people about something that they're passionate about?
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
and then get paid for it. Obviously, you know, I'm not doing this for free. But you know, and then also, you know, again, interacting with guys who are like people who are creative, who aren't just the customer, who aren't just the audience. You know, this is about networking and connecting. And again, that's what we're here for. That's what we're a social species, man. We're meant to you know, spread our wings and fly and meet people and get excited. And if I can cultivate drops and gather stuff for the marketplace that gets people excited, I'm you know, mission accomplished, man. Like, if I make one person smile a day because they opened up a crate that had, I don't know, their favorite comic book in it, or like some of these guys, like this last drop, you know, this guy like posted about opening up that Todd McFarlane Spawn cover, and I mean, I'm sure he probably only bought 2 cases, but like, can you imagine? Like, I mean, it blows my mind to think about the fact that I could spend $125, $200, open up a case and pull a 2,000 to 3,000, maybe even more if we wanted to do that comic. How insane is that?
Yeah, I mean, that happened recently, like 5 drops ago. There was the grand prize was the Hulk 181 85 grade worth $5,500 with an instant buyback offer of $5,000, and someone pulled it, and he was actually decided to redeem it.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
It was so cool to see that, you know. And again, there's never a wrong answer. You decide to redeem it, or you decide to hold it, or you decide to take the offer. There's no wrong answer, guys. But ultimately, it's just fun to see people win. You know?
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially people who we've been personally connected to for the past, 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, like last week, Oscar, who's he's actually a big moderator on the VV Facebook group page, and he actually pulled the Grail.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think we were in the chat earlier, and he was saying that it was really great because, you know, one thing I get to do is when we draw the 2 winners, because we usually put aside, 1 or 2 cases as a giveaway for each of the drops. I get to reach out to the winners and let them know. And so today I got to reach out to the winners, and one of the guys was like, man, you know, I recently lost a lot of money, and, you know, this was, you know, he's like, I haven't had anything really in the market right now, and this was such a blessing. That's awesome. So again, like the fact that people who win these things, because, you know, you ever been to some place and some guy who wins the giveaway and they're just like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
we do so many giveaways. We've done probably over 100 giveaways at least in the past few years. And there are people like, cool, thanks. Yeah, here's
yeah. This guy's like posting about it, and he's super excited, and like, that's who I want to win. Yeah,
most people are super appreciative though.
Yeah, exactly.
And that right there is like reward, man. That's a total reward. And so again, I want people to feel like that, not just when they open their inbox, but when they open these cases. Like, I'm telling you right now, not to give anything away about future like drops or anything, but I'm working on some heavy hitters. Like, I'm working on some stuff that would honestly, that's going to blow your mind. And, you know, there's going to be some things where it's like, will they approve this? Because like, I don't know if they're going to approve it, but like, if they do, worst
case they say no.
Worst case they say no, but like, if they say yes, you guys are you're gonna crap your pants. Like, I'm not lying. Like, this stuff is man, I have so many great ideas. Like, so the one thing I'll tell you this is not to give too much away about Sergio's background, but I don't know. He said in his goodbye during the stream, you know, he's got another business. He's got a young son who he wants to spend more time with. So his priorities are in the right place. Fanable's really new, you know, so working out a lot of processes to get stuff like established has been something that is a priority for me as I step into this role. So I am working to get like drops prepared. I'm talking 2 to 3 months out. So instead of like preparing like the week of, or, you know, getting stuff ready the night before or whatever, because these guys are working hard behind, like, I don't think that a lot of people understand how hard these guys at Fannable have been working. They've been busting their ass. And so if I can make it, because that's what I learned in the military. You have to have a process, and you have to have, you know, transparency, and you have to have, you know, things have to be set in advance. You have to have plans and then secondaries. And if I can get this stuff ready months in advance, I'm telling you, the drops will get nothing but bigger, and bigger and bigger. And as the more people participate, the more that they support that the not only the drops, but the community and the marketplace, the more that they add to the marketplace, the more we can do and the bigger we can do. And I'm telling you, man, I am not lying. Like I have some ideas. If I could go like Super Saiyan right now, I would. Like that's how excited I am for this stuff.
Oh, your energy is electric, and I appreciate that so much, man. I'm excited to see the things. And actually, that was my next question. Based on your background, and how do you feel you'll be able to help Fannable succeed? And you're already starting to answer that question.
Yeah,
so,
no, it's really
out of your heart,
Yeah, it's really honestly, it's about the community. That's number one. It's about the community. Without the community, there is no Fannable. There's no phygital space, as you said. There's no NFTs. Like without people having that, like believing in the process, believing in what we're doing, we wouldn't be here. The fact that we're here, that we're doing these still means that people understand it, they believe it, and they enjoy it. And so the goal is to bring more people into it, to bring more, I'm talking about teaming up, because we already know that on Fannable there are categories for collectible toys, Pokemon, sports cards, VHSs, which I know you guys are excited about. So there's so many opportunities to expand what Fannable does. We need buy-in from the community to be like, yeah, we're here for that. And there's going to be some risks that we're going to take. There are going to be some things that we're like, and if people don't buy into it in the primary market, then hopefully it'll pick up in the secondary market. But some of, like they say, no risk, no reward. We're going to go for the big prizes. We're going to go for the big grails. We're going to go for the big chases. And whether it's Pokemon cards, whether it's, again, Funkos, whether it's VHSs, I'm going to do everything I can to bring you the best of the best, to have some exciting drops, some exciting cases. And that starts with coming up with the ideas, developing the how they look, so that if you guys even just want to collect the cases, man, some of these cases are gorgeous. Like the ones that they've already released are gorgeous. Man, I gave, not gonna lie, I gave Sean a little bit of a preview before you got here, Spencer, of the Mutant Mayhem, which we announced today. That's for Friday. Nice. And that's a collaboration, obviously, with me and Sergio, which we developed, and working with the guys over at Impossible Briefs for those cases. But my first one is going to be kind of early July, and I'm letting you know right now, like I'm going for the fences. Like I'm swinging for the fences with this one. I want you guys to be hyped about it, because if I can get the Grail approved, if I can get the look of this box approved, if I can get the chases approved, I'm not lying. You guys are going to see where we're headed with Fannable, and it's only going to be a taste.
No, Aaron, I loved in the Twitter space today with Millie. A big shout out to Millie Tees. If you guys aren't following him, make sure to do so on Twitter. He has amazing Twitter spaces. But you were saying, and I love that you brought this up, because this is something that we've talked about quite often. You talked about how people buy packs, they buy cases. Sometimes they range from anywhere between 100 and 300 plus. Yeah. There's some like National Treasures packs that are like 10 grand, if not more, and you get like one card.
Yeah.
Most of the you buy, you're pretty much guaranteed an 80% loss, if not more. And the thing is, you still have to liquidate it. You liquidate the cards within the pack. Yeah. And it's a process. It's hard. It's not easy. Whereas Fannable, you're pretty much guaranteed. At the last drop, I think you got was it 60, 65%, 70% tops back, and you can instantly sell it.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. That was something I'm not going to lie. When I came on board and Sergio explained to me the guaranteed buyback, I'm like, how are you guys still in business? I didn't understand it, but he explained it to me, how they're able to do the buybacks and how they're able to do all this stuff. And it makes sense once you understand like what they're doing with the marketplace, what they're doing with the cases themselves. And the interesting thing is I'll talk about the Pokemon cards and that market in a second, but like the interesting about the cases that I'm really impressed with the marketplace and the community having supported is the dedication to when like tracking what has been pulled, because people will buy cases and just lock them, like 2 or 3 of them, and then you'll see them pop up in the marketplace because they know that the grail has not been pulled or the chases have not been pulled, and they'll just go up in price.
Mhm.
And so I love the fact that there's this, it's a free market, but it's still, we have this entrepreneurial spirit that these buyers have. So they're thinking 1 to 2 steps ahead. Like they're making chess moves while some of these guys are out here making checkers,
Yeah.
And so I'm loving what people are wanting to do with the community by still getting the case, maybe not opening it, but still putting it up for sale and knowing that they're going to get their value back on it. Whereas again, what you were talking about with Pokemon, man, oh God, I'll tell you. So I guess that's kind of like my professional background in Pokemon. I'll add this in there. So I used to be huge in the Pokemon community. I played competitively. I went to things like nationals, and then I got out of playing, and I started judging. And when you judge in Pokemon, you don't get paid to judge. You get paid, like your payment is packs of cards. So, like if you judge like bigger conventions or bigger tournaments, you'll maybe walk away with like a booster box, which for anybody in the community that doesn't know Pokemon, I'll just give you a quick rundown. So obviously packs generally loose are supposed to be like $4. If you buy an Elite Trainer box, which usually comes with 8 packs, some dice, card sleeves, things like that, a couple extras, you're looking at probably market value, or I can't say fair market value because I'm learning it's a little different. But retail, yes, thank you. Retail is like, I want to say $40 to $50. Okay, and that's only for 8 packs. Now, a booster box is 36 packs, and that used to be between $120 and $140 retail. Go to any card shop like today and see how much they're selling packs for. See how much they're selling Elite Trainer boxes for, and then have the audacity to ask them for how much a booster box is. You're not going to get a booster box for less than $300 to $400, depending on the set that you're getting.
Right.
Yeah.
The ultra premium collections, which I used, so I'm little, behind this peak of the curtain. I myself used to buy the ultra premium collections. So I have about 5 or 6 of them from previous sets just stashed away unopened.
Mm-hmm.
Like eventually, and those things now, don't even try it. But so like, and again, just like you said, Sean, you're maybe going to get maybe 20% chance, if 20% chance of getting something that's going to be of value. I'm seeing people that are pulling maybe $20 to $30 from a booster box, where some people, if they get lucky, the pull rates are just so bad because Pokemon knows, and they're adding to the rarities. It used to just be full arts. Now it's full arts, rainbows, gold, secret rares. They're just going to keep adding to it, and they're going to over inundate the market, and they're going to kill their fan base. Fannable is not like that at all. You're like, we tell you what's going to be in there. Like, you're guaranteed 98 cases. Here's 98 options. You're going to get something that you're going to enjoy, you're going to love, and it's going to be a quality thing. Who doesn't love opening up a 90.8? When you get something graded back from CGC and you open up that box and it's like 9.8s, you're like, hell yeah. Right? Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, I've got a couple of 9.6s and 9.4s. Those are probably going to be in my personal collection like forever, but they're still valuable to me. So like, again, like, and that wasn't it. Like in this set, right? In the 9.8s and beyond, there was plenty of beyond, wasn't there?
Oh yeah.
10s, 9.9s. I've never seen so many 9.9s in one place in my life.
I know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there are some really awesome bangers in this one, and it's I don't even, has this been pulled yet?
Yeah, that one was pulled. I think that's the first time. So Sergio told me that's the first time, and I kind of maybe attributed to my bad luck. But that's the first time ever, like within like, I think it was within like the first like not even 10 minutes, the grail had been pulled.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's definitely probably a record.
Yeah,
it's usually maybe a few hours or even a few days afterwards, because it comes down to, like you said, a lot of people are collecting the cases.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I've talked to are like, yeah, I'm collecting every single case.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that, like, and I talked to Sergio because Sergio, and I know I keep talking about him a lot, but he's just such a great guy. He gave me so much knowledge about what goes on, in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, what the community enjoys, and obviously only that's only a small part of it, because as we bring in more community members, we're going to bring in more tastes. We're going to bring in more more fans, and again, one thing that I want to focus on also is the variety of titles that are in some of these.
Mhm.
Like I enjoy good Xbox. I enjoy a good X-Men. Sorry, PS5 fan here. I enjoy a good X-Men cover. I enjoy a good, what else? Batman. I enjoy the big two, DC and Marvel, but I am also a huge indie fan. I'm a huge creator owned fan. Like, and there's some like really great books. I'm gonna show you if I can find it. I want to show you. Okay. 1 second. I gotta find it somewhere in here. I have Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. I don't know if you guys are aware of that title. Patrick Horvath. It was his first like creator owned, and I think it was IDW. But it was his own personal, and he started it, won an Eisner for it. Like first issue, won an Eisner for it. It was an amazing book. And so that one, I got that in a 9.8 signed by him, and then the artist, and like stuff like that is just, it's not your usual title, but if you get that one is so valuable right now because you can't even like, they underwhelmed the industry when they released the first issue and nobody could find a first issue. Right. I lost my first issue. I still stay awake at night sometimes because I can't find my first edition of Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Number one, I'm so mad about it. But again, like I want to bring in more stuff into the community that not only people love, but what's also going to bring up the value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, this is so exciting, man, and it's fun to hear you understand almost immediately the collector's aspect, and that's something that's been really fun for us for the past couple of years, especially on the digital side. People being introduced to digital collectibles, not knowing or really they had never had a background in collecting. And it was digital collectibles that reintroduced their love, or even just introduced their love for collecting. And now they're going to Comic Cons, they're going in stores and buying physical comic books. And that's the kind of thing that a lot of comic shops and physical collectors don't know, is that this is a whole new audience of collectors, and it's growing the space. And that's what I love about Fannable, because they're a true bridge to physical and digital collecting.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love the fact that, again, so there's been, one conversation that Sergio and I had was he kind of went over some of the companies that have been trying to do, things in the digital space, things in the digital collection space that kind of flamed out or fizzled out. And then there's companies that have been trying to do stuff again in this phygital space, like even even DC did their collectible cards that came with like the NFT version online that had like some kind of value. I haven't heard anything about that since the first convention that they were giving out free packs.
HRO.
Yeah. So like
I still got a box of unopened cards right here.
I got 2 of those.
Yep.
So like it's for me, it's like I understand that companies, and I love a great idea where people want to be, innovative in a space, but you got to tread lightly in a space that's not only, new, but that is especially during like COVID and right after it, but what you said before with Fannable, this is something like I can grab any one of my books, any one of my graded books, and I'm like, this has value. I know it's a physical copy, it has value. And now I'm sending it in and I'm getting a digital copy that has value, but there's still that physical copy that is out there. And so like, to me, like that is this, again, it's not only an investment, because let's say you go to a convention and you're like, oh man, do I want to spend $1,200 on this Batman 700 signed by Michael Keaton? I could do that. And then I could submit it, and then I still have it there. I have the version, but it's now safe in a vault. So like, to me, that's a simple like frame of thought. That's a simple thought process, because now you have that item. It is yours. You still own it. You could still look at it digitally, high quality. These images. I mean, that's another thing that I love about this, is the fact that I've never seen a company that will literally like scan it, do a high digital copy of it, and then create like these really cool graphics where it spins in front of you
for free.
And for free.
Yeah.
It's like it's awesome. It is so awesome. So like, again, I'm so excited about what new collectors, because again, I'm pretty new to this space, and coming into it, I'm like, I get it. It's amazing. Why aren't other people why don't more people do this? Because even if you're just sending your stuff in to get, again, vaulted, to be safe, to be insured,
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily go to like some self-storage place and put it in there. But if somebody cuts that lock, they can steal it. If you don't pay the bill, they can sell your storage unit.
Right.
And if that place catches on fire, it's probably going to go up in flames.
Yeah.
Like no, like sorry, fingers crossed. I'm not hoping for any negative thing for anybody's stuff that's in a storage unit. My stuff is in a storage unit, so I'm not saying that. Please, I apologize. So, but like I'm just saying, like
There's it could happen.
Yeah, there's so many things could happen, but we're talking like here's a fully vaulted place, man.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm very excited too, inevitably, when Fannable extends out their company worldwide.
Yes,
because
yes.
that was the thing that attracted me the most, was the accessibility aspect. Because we've seen horror stories. I've been a part of horror stories sending international, shipping, and it's terrible. It's a huge barrier to entry there. So people having a chance to own and collect physical collectibles instantly is a real game changer. And I'm so excited for everyone worldwide to be able to get involved in this opportunity and to enjoy collecting. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be a fun journey for sure.
Absolutely. That's another thing, is it's the idea that you now can sell something to somebody else, trade it or buy it, and it's instantaneously yours. It's now safe, but at any moment you could be like, you know what? I really want to hold this in my hand. And then you just have it shipped to you for free. Again, to me, that is an awesome idea. It's such a great idea, because normally if I buy something on eBay, I hope it gets here. I hope it gets here in a certain amount of time, and I hope it gets here safe. I tell people nowadays, don't buy anything on eBay during the wintertime, because when it gets cold outside and it gets that rigid plastic, I can't tell you how many books I've had break because they ship during the wintertime.
It's terrible.
It's insane. But now you don't have to worry about that. You own that. It's still where it is. It's still safe. And you can wait till whatever time of the year you want to redeem it, and boom, it's safe and sound at your doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like I think that's such a winning idea, that just, I don't know, just again, there's so many things about this that just make sense to me.
Yeah, definitely. And my wish list, and I know this is probably a long-term goal, if it's even on the radar, this is speculation on my end, and it's more of a wish list item, but it'd be absolutely incredible to have your physical collectible or your 3D model collectible on the Fannable app, being able to experience that in augmented reality and being able to even potentially display them in your home environment using AR technology. I mean, that's where the future is going, and they're setting themselves up for success by going down that road. So yeah, I'm really, man, it's real. I'm so bullish on this company. Yeah.
Well, I want to mention real quick what you said about the international like audience as well, and because we get that question even in the week that I've been here, we get that question a lot, and we are absolutely working on that. You got to understand that this is a small team, and as we grow, as we get better at the processes that we are involved in, as we nail down how these things are done in a safe, methodical, manner, we will continue to open this up into not just different categories, but to different, to obviously the bigger world itself, the bigger markets. So we just ask that people be patient about that, because that is on our map. Our roadmap is absolutely international sales and international buying and shipping and all that stuff. We don't have a timeline to it right now, but it is on the roadmap, because again, I emphasize that, I know that this community, especially the digital community, the NFT community, I understand that there is a lot of companies, because we get questions about like, what happens if Fanable shuts down? What happens to my items? The goal here is absolutely not to shut down. The goal is to continue to get better, to make this just a perfectly oiled machine, so that as we open this up, there is no negatives to it, and we just get better and better and better, and bring more people into the fold and bring more people into the marketplace. And then that way we're doing it in a safe and trusted manner, because again, we want people to have that safety and that security. What we, in the military, we call it that warm and fuzzy. We want all of our community, all of the community that we are part of, to have that warm and fuzzy, that we are here for the long haul. We are here to help keep your collectibles safe, to digitize them, and to give you a marketplace that is so much easier than places like eBay to sell them. That's so much easier than Facebook Marketplace. And still allows you to. And that's a great idea. I love the augmented reality idea. I'm a huge fan of augmented reality, of VR, of all that stuff. And if you can just like, I mean, here's my idea. When you said, as soon as you said that, my brain went to those little like almost canisters that they have that are like lights, that are like lasers, that can just like have like a spinning, visual in them. And you could just be like, oh, today I want to see my, I don't know, Batman 181 on there. And like, you just click it and it's like, you remember when everybody had those digital photo frames on their desk everywhere? Yep. Just kind of like that, but almost real.
There's a huge market for that, especially with the VV community. We've seen them do things like that. They've actually had their digital collectibles showcased in a digital art framework so they can enjoy them in real life. Absolutely. So that definitely speaks volumes to everything that you've said and validates everything that you've said, because we've seen it hands-on for years. And technology, when it catches up, right? I mean, you guys are setting yourself up for success. So
we just want to do it. They've, again, I had a really good meeting at the end of the day with the entire Fannable team, with Sergio. And one of the greatest things that I took from that meeting was everybody comes together and we talk about, okay, where are the speed bumps that we're hitting right now? What are the roadblocks? Like, what are the things that we're working on right now to make this platform better? And they're doing this every week, if not IRL, because IRT, in real time, because we're in a chat constantly, like, hey, like, we need these graphics, we need this updated, there's an issue with the whatever system, like, can we fix this now? And they're like, on it. Like, we're here doing the work so that people can understand that this is a space that is accepting, that is fun, and we're going to solve the problems as fast as we can.
That's amazing, Aaron. Man, we're so excited for what you're going to be able to do with the company. And it just feels like a perfect fit. So congratulations again on your role and to be part of the community, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to go over some news around the collecting space if you want to hang.
Absolutely. I just want, if you don't mind, I just want to invite people. Like, again, I'm on Twitter. It's at the Shortbox Hero. So if you want to, like, shoot me a message, like, if there are, I love ideas. I love collaborating on stuff. If you have, things that you want to see, like, please don't go crazy with it. Like, because there's, people can get, well, I'll be honest. I like the community already. I'm enjoying it. I'm sure there's an outlier, like, weirdo here or there, like, I don't want feet pics. I swear to God, I'm gonna get like 300 feet pics now, but no, seriously. But like, I want to hear ideas. I want to hear what you're excited about. I want to hear, like, I want to hear it. Like, I want people to be willing to come to the table and be like, hey, listen, I'm excited about this, but here's a question that I have. And I love it because it's already the environment that Sergio has again cultivated, because I go through the Facebook messages, the Instagram messages, the Twitter messages, and people have really respectful and really understanding questions. And I'm like, that's a really good question. So if I don't know it, I go find out the answer and I'll bring it back, Mm-hmm. So I love the fact that people are asking the questions, are interested in pursuing what we're doing, joining the community, and that's what we got to do. We got to bring more people that we know want to enjoy collectibles in this manner and bring them into it, and just tell them, like, hey, like, if you're worried about it being unsafe or whatever, it's like, it's in a vault, man. Like, this is where you can do with it. If you know somebody that has a huge collection, hey, you might want to put that into, like, just think about this. Hey, Fannable's there to put it in a vault for you.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I literally have 4 short boxes of CGC graded comics, man. And I'm like, enough's enough. This is going to the marketplace,
I love Make sure to follow Aaron at the Shortbox Hero. It's right there on the banner, guys. So make sure to give him a follow on Twitter. Yeah.
I'll show you this one.
That's awesome.
This is my Sam Raimi signed Spider-Man the movie.
Dude, that's amazing.
We've been trying to get some stuff signed by him for a while.
Yeah, Sam Raimi quits a lot. He cancels a lot of Comic Cons. We're supposed to meet him in San Francisco, and he bailed on that.
Yeah. He's bailed a couple of times. We tried to see him.
A couple times, yeah. He's bailed twice. We'll get him one day.
It's the same with so I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect. You know, this was back in the day when I used to have an Xbox. Sorry,
Yeah.
Xbox fam. And I went to a couple of conventions and I kept getting Jennifer Hale, who voices female Shepard. By the way, she is a phenomenal person. If you ever get a chance to go and meet Jennifer Hale, she is one of the most prolific like voice actresses, like American voice actresses in the world. Like has more credits than anybody. She signed like all of my Xbox cases for Mass Effect.
Cool.
But the guy, I forget his name, but the guy who voiced the male version, every single time he has left early before his signing, and I still don't have them signed. So I'm like so mad.
You'll get it.
One day, yes, I am pursuing.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, guys, we're going to transition a little bit to some news around the collecting space. We're going to start off by talking about our giveaway. We're giving a giveaway in celebration of Jurassic Park 32 years ago. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. Jurassic Park was released at theaters. It was amazing. I don't know if you had a chance to see it in theaters. If not, if you haven't seen it yet, obviously you got to watch Jurassic Park. It's incredible. But
it still holds up.
It still holds up in the best way. And this is a sealed first print VHS tape. High grade too, guys. This is a very high grade of Jurassic Park. We're partnering with the VHS Bible, which is your #1 resource for VHS and beta. So if you're interested in collecting or investing in VHS or beta, make sure to go to the VHSBible.com. Yeah, amazing resource, guys. It's been a long time coming. It's been amazing to collaborate with LA Collectibles and everyone that's worked on that website. And it's also endorsed by the top graders in all the VHS space, pretty much, including CGC, Beckett, and Rewind. They all had a chance to look at the information on there and they give their stamp of approval. So if you want to get involved in this giveaway, make sure to go to our Twitter account. It's pinned to our tweet at Comics and Crypto. And this VHS is going to be mailed out worldwide. So we're very excited to give this one away. We have a bounty out. So we've been doing these bounties. These are fun. So on VV, we've been doing these bounties for digital collectibles, specifically special mint numbers that are tied to the collectible itself. So they're essentially one-of-ones in the community. Okay. So this is a Maserati. It's a Maserati Alfieri, and there's 2014 editions. And this is the last mint number and also the year of the model's debut. So very significant in terms of historical significance. And we're putting a $1,500 bounty out for this collectible. So if you end up getting this and you want to sell to us, let us know. We would love to purchase it from you.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Yeah, something else that we do too is we're really bullish on publishing year mints. So like comics are released in certain years, like 2010, 1962, mint numbers that are tied to the publishing year of that comic. And those sell for a high premium. Yeah, and we're obsessed. Yeah, we love it. Yeah.
I recently learned that there is a premium on like low grade low grade CGCs as well. I had no idea because the population is so low on on like lower numbers. Especially in like some like Pokemon cards as well. So like it's so interesting. It's so interesting what again a premium like what will go for a premium in specific markets because people always want to have like that niche like corner of collection, you know, and I love it.
Yeah, 100%. And it was crazy, man. Like the Detective Comics 27, the first appearance of Batman, those grails, those golden age grails, especially that are so low in the pop reports. Even the very bottom floor will sell for an insane premium. And man, there was a 0.5 grade, a blue label grade of Detective Comics 27 that sold for over $300,000. And that's the floor. That's the floor. What the heck? One of the highest I've ever seen by far. It was absolutely insane.
You know, I want to say because that I don't know why, but that when you mentioned Batman, one of the coolest things that I've seen on the marketplace right now for Fannable is there is a graded page from a Batman. It's the Batman slaps Robin, the one that's the famous meme. That is on that page. There is a page of that on the marketplace, and I'm like so tempted to buy that. Like it's so cool.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I've seen a lot of. It's interesting to see how perspective of people what they'll do with these big Grail comics or even significant pages, right? So like even for Golden Age comics we talked about, if the comic is in really bad shape, typically what they'll do is they'll take the comic and they'll just take off each page and they'll grade each individual page and sell them for a pretty high premium. It's pretty
Yeah.
nuts.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Wild,
I
yeah.
also learned something recently that I guess before it became popular to sign on the cover of comics, artists and like writers used to sign on the inside like of the cover, like the first page. So a lot of people don't go when they look for like older comics, they don't open them up. They're just looking at the quality of the first page where, you might find like an older comic. And if you just take the chance to open the first page, you might have a signed book there. Like there's people have been finding like really interesting signatures.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely. Yeah. And so transition to this sale, I want to highlight this, guys, because if you didn't know about it, I would definitely want to make sure everyone knows. There was a big sale in Stacker World that happened the other day, and Stacker World is affiliate with VV Digital Collectibles. You can buy and sell your digital collectibles using the OMI token, which fuels the VV ecosystem. And this first appearance secret rare of Miles Morales, there's only like 200 editions, maybe even less, sold for $6,410 and almost over about 30 million OMI, which is absolutely incredible. It's incredible. It's exciting to see utility finally come with the OMI token, and I think about 500,000 tokens were burned from this sale alone. So it makes you realize, like, when this stuff catches on, the OMI token, man, it's hard not to be bullish. Just saying. This is exciting news.
Yes.
This is such exciting news. Oh man, I'm pumped for this. This is they finally announced a sequel to Spaceballs. Spaceballs, classic from 1987, one of the funniest films of Mel Brooks, and he's going to be in it. He's going to come back at 98. He's going to play. Yeah.
So is Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
That's to me insane.
Man, they must have done some pretty heavy convincing for him to come out of retirement.
Absolutely. I'm that guy practically raised me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
Or Ghostbusters.
That's hilarious. Yeah, and it's really cool too. One of the co-writers of the script is Josh Gad.
Yes.
Which I love Josh Gad. He's hilarious. Yes. It's fun to see him expand his talents.
Absolutely. That guy is insanely talented. I don't know if you've heard about did you hear about his comic, The Writer?
No.
Yeah, so he teamed up with a publishing house. They did I want to say it came out on Dark Horse, but it's called the Writer, and it's basically about his Jewish heritage and how he taps into his, like, basically there's these very powerful, almost like shamans, like basically like storytellers in the Jewish culture, and they can, if they write on a very special like notebook, they can get the powers of what they write about. And so it's an amazing adventure. Like he wrote that one, and I read the entire book, and he's actually doing a really cool giveaway. So I'd say I'm not going to go into it too much, but it's called The Writer, and it's amazing.
I have to look into that. That's awesome, man. Thanks for that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, his talent has no bounds.
I think, but didn't Boss Logic do that poster?
He shared it. I don't think he made this post.
I don't know. I thought I saw on his Instagram post, I think he said that he's like working on the film. He's like involved with the film.
Oh, wow. I'm sure he might be involved. Yeah. Big shout to Boss Logic. We had him on the channel for like last month, and we just finished a giveaway with him. Amazing guy, unbelievable artist. Aaron, do you know Boss Logic at all? Do you know?
Absolutely. Some of his comic covers are some of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah. Dude, I got this recently. Absolute banger cover of Boss Logic. This is Last Ronin 1. Absolutely stunning. I plan on hopefully get to meet up with him out in San Diego Comic-Con, get it signed, and then of course Kevin Eastman too. But yeah, I'm just such a big fan of his for years, and it's been fun to get to know him over the past few months. So he's an awesome guy. Unbelievably awesome guy. Really cool. And of course, we want to highlight this. I picked this up recently. This is a first print of Spaceballs. Yeah, we picked this up maybe about a month ago. They're really hard to find. So it was really fun to like actually find this one. It's a very sentimental film to us. So we were able to acquire this one, and it's just really fun to see this thing and actually hold it. It's actually over here somewhere. I don't know, somewhere here somewhere. But if you're looking for a first print of Spaceballs, make sure to look at obviously the year, but also on the very bottom, there's a blue dog bone tag at the very bottom that overlaps. And that's how you can identify, I think here.
Interesting.
So the very bottom right there, you can see that right there. Yeah. So if anyone's out there for Spaceball.
I know nothing about the VHS collector market, but all I do know is that my mom and dad, they live in Alaska right now. They have probably every VHS tape that we had when we were kids.
Yeah.
Just locked away. So I'm like, maybe one day I'll take a trip up there and just like steal it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them, even CIB, sell for a premium.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see this market and what people put value on, and it's just the beginning. It's pretty wild.
I love how you said about it, because it's absolutely true with like the digital market and streaming services these days, because at any point, any of these streaming services can pull off any series, any title, any whatever. And like, there's not really a way, unless you go find the physical copy of it, to watch it anymore. My wife and I, we started collecting, Blu-rays and DVDs again, because we lost internet. We lost internet when we first moved in for a good week and a half. And like, I couldn't work. I had to go to a coffee shop to do my job.
Oh.
I'm glad that you said that too, because there's this really, it's kind of a difficult situation with streaming, because you're at the mercy of what they're releasing to you. And there was a wonderful series on Disney Plus. It was called Prop Culture. And it was about a guy who traveled around the United States, and he'd visit people who had unbelievable movie props from films, including a lot of people who worked on the films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they took it off Disney Plus, and you cannot find it anywhere. It's not available for purchase for streaming. You can't buy it physically. It's like it never existed. Same with Willow series, same thing.
Yeah,
and it's very disheartening. And this is why I believe that NFT technology can really help with that.
Well, the other thing that's interesting about that as well is not only do they remove like complete properties, but have you heard that they've started like editing certain things out of specific releases? I want to say it was like Robin Hood. At the beginning of Robin Hood, there's like a text that goes along the front, and because it's about like obviously standing up for the underdogs and for the poor and standing up against tyranny, they like Netflix completely removed it. Like other countries might be able to see it, but here in the States, and it's happened to multiple things. Like if you think about like some of these shows where they've changed the show, or they've removed scenes, or they've like that's them. Sorry, we'll get on a tangent where they start like they're manipulating our minds, which is kind of true. Like really, if they're removing stuff that's important to the stories of what we're watching, they're literally censorship.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I think ownership is important. And I think that definitely can happen still. I've seen people able to create like blockbusters digitally in their living room using AR technology. And you could do that potentially and still own the asset using NFT technology. So I'm excited for the future of it. I think there's definitely possibilities there. And I think the companies, it makes sense for them because they're going to be able to have, continued commission sales off these using NFTs. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But this one specifically, big shout out to VHS Bible. If you're not following them, make sure to do so at VHS Bible for unbelievable education on VHS and beta. But this is A History of Violence from 2006, and it is considered the last commercial VHS ever released.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is considered a grail among VHS collectors. It's a really special piece of history. And I love that concept of being the last or even being the first, because that translates in the digital space as well. But this one especially is really fun to see this one pop up. So yeah, if you see a sealed History of Violence.
High grade too.
Yeah, high grade too. Yeah, 9.6. That's really good.
Imagine buying this and then putting it up on Fannable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we've sent a couple VHS tapes in already in Fanable, and I'm excited to see those come up. It's going to be really fun. Big shout out to Bad Idea. They made this announcement recently, and this is incredibly exciting. So there's 36 copies of this, and essentially this is a comic book, the first issue of Cool de Sec. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that right.
It's like cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac. Oh yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, so it's a first issue of the Vampire series that's going to be released, and there's 36 of these made. That's it, 36, and these are actually it's called the impaled variant, and there's actually a stake that goes through the comic. An actual stake is going through the comic, and I believe they worked with CGC on this. But man, what a cool piece of history! That is insane.
Shipping is going to be a bitch on that.
Yeah, right.
I can imagine.
And I believe cul-de-sac, roughly translated, means nice nuts. I'm kidding. Sorry.
Hey, let's check that out on ChatGPT real quick. What's the thing on Twitter everyone's using? It's called Gok or
Gronk.
Gronk. Yeah, can you confirm that?
Isn't that a football player? You know?
Yeah, these are unbelievably cool. And a big shout out to Bad Idea. Man, I'd love to see this as a 3D model on VV if this one's ever released. Because they did release Planet Death Zero on there, which was a sellout. And that has become one of the highest printing comics in the past 30 years. They apparently printed over 1 million copies of that comic, which is just unbelievable. Yeah. So, yeah. And that comic, too, Aaron, that was written by Derek Kolstad, who's the creator of John Wick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was wild because we were at San Diego Comic-Con last year. And I was talking to him for like 20 minutes. No idea that he was the creator of John Wick. We were just chatting it up and just talking about Comic-Con. And they walked away and initially, yeah, that's creator of John Wick. Like, oh, man.
Don't you love that when you're talking to somebody? It's like insanely big in the industry, and you're just like, what?
Yeah. I see him again. He's getting the biggest bear hug. I'm warning you now, Derek. Get ready for it.
And I think, Sean, this comic, this is going to be like the 1 in 1,000 variant, I think, right, for this release. So like if you buy, enough books from the comic store, then you get this one, right?
It's way more scarce than that. Apparently it's going to be, you have to order 500 copies or more, but it's first come, first serve. So the first 36, I think, first 36 comic book stores that order 500 copies or more will get one.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's how it works. Exciting. This is really cool news. Studio Auctions, which is an auction house that sells movie props, has been acquired by Golden Auctions.
Oh, nice.
You're going to see some banger collectibles now on Golden Auctions, including this upcoming auction very soon. It starts in 14 days. This is their first big auction for Hollywood movie props. And here are some of the unbelievable items that they have, including this is an actual screen-used whip from Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
How is that going to go for more than George Reeves' Superman costume?
Right? It's
or an operational Star Wars R2D2. Like, how is a whip going to go? Sorry.
I mean, I agree with you. I think that the R2D2, so the R2D2 was actually, it's a droid from Disney World Auction Studios.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So this is an actual whip from the movie. But yeah, this is super interesting too with George Reeves. I mean, any Superman fan out there will definitely find
that looks like the house from Beetlejuice also down there.
It is. It is actually the miniature from Beetlejuice. And starting bid for that is $30,000. They have wardrobe from Cleopatra that Elizabeth Taylor wore. They have an Iron Man helmet that was used in the original Iron Man film. The Xenomorph miniature.
Ooh, the flamethrower prop from Aliens. Ooh.
That is crazy. The screen-used Stormtrooper helmet from Rogue One. That's awesome. This is the one that caught my eye the most, and I was very shocked to see this so low in terms of starting bid. But this is the actual wand from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the actual wand that he held for the first time on screen when he matched with the wand. This is the wand.
I believe that would be at Ollivander's Wand Shop.
yeah, you get it.
Yeah, 10,000 seems low. That's gonna. I mean, that was just a starting bid, but that's gonna go a lot higher.
I guarantee you that they're doing that one especially low because it's such a broad audience.
Yeah.
That they want to bring in as many people. Like, that's going to be one that's going to garnish like probably the most amount of views.
Yeah.
They have Dumbledore's one as well.
Dumbledore's, yeah.
So right there it says hero. So when it's referring to hero, that means it was used for close-up shots on screen.
Oh.
Yeah, so the hero shot. So this is basically the Elder Wand that was used. I'm not sure which film. Apparently, probably used for most. It says the Harry Potter franchise. So, wow. That's stunning as well. I can see that go for high premium. Whoa. Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker lightsaber from The Mandalorian. Ooh. Wow. That's awesome.
David Hasselhoff's officer dress uniform.
Oh, sign me up.
That smells like cheeseburgers and crushed dreams.
Yeah. So definitely keep your eye on these auctions, guys. It's a lot of fun. It's gonna be great. We're probably gonna cover it as well, and it starts in 14 days, so it'll probably go on for about a month or so. So we'll definitely keep you posted on this auction. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah,
That's so cool.
There's so much fun having you today, man. This is a blast.
Yeah, man. I honestly, I appreciate you so much for having me and letting me, chat all things Fannable and chat my background. Like, I don't, I talk about a lot of stuff on my podcast, but like, getting to meet new people and this is a whole new market, man. I am a lifelong learner, and so if I can pick up a few bits of knowledge, and your brain is you guys have some awesome knowledge. So I'm so excited to meet up with you guys in San Diego. Grab a beer if you drink, or grab a seltzer water if you don't. And maybe some waffle fries, my treat.
I can't wait.
But I should have said this earlier also. If you haven't already, please go follow Fanable on all the platforms as well. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Bookmark that page, and then go follow also, Omilities. If you're not following Comics and Crypto already, these guys are phenomenal. I've just met them and I'm already like, we could be best friends. It's fine. I'll share my special sauce with you for my chicken nuggets. And I think it's going to be a great partnership going forward and working with you guys. Cause like I said, I'm so appreciative of being here in this position, because I know it's a big responsibility. I feel like, I'm taking over the mantle of like Batman or something. And because there's a big responsibility to make sure that we support the community. And I feel like I'm kind of like that touching point between the community and the company. And, I want you guys all to know that I'm taking this absolutely serious, but also I'm going to have fun with it, because this is what we do. We got to have fun with it. If we're stressing about it, if we're not liking what we're doing, then we're probably not putting out a great product. So I'm going to have a good time doing what I'm doing, so that you guys can have the best time doing what we like.
That's amazing.
Which is collecting.
It's such a blast meeting you, Aaron. I'm excited to continue collaborating with you. And make sure, guys, again, follow him at the Shortbox Hero on Twitter to get all the new information about Fannable, and just to follow him and see what he's up to. Give him a good stalking. Thanks again for joining, everybody. It's been an absolute blast, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.